Hi guys, welcome to another 2-minute devotion with Dad. We're in Mark chapter 5, and this is one of my most favourite sections of the Bible, one of my most favourite passages of healing. The more I read it, the more I just love it, and I'll tell you why. It's just so cool. So Jesus has just come back from, well, he's on his way back now from healing the guy with demons, and all of these are connected. This is unexpected, this detour, but all of these, where is it? So he gets into the lake to go across. There's the storm that he calms. Then he heals the guy with the demons, sends him away. Then they get back to the other side of the lake, and then this happens. So they're all like boom, 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 and it's just incredible. Jesus' demonstration of authority over every force in nature, almost. Like, you've got the winds and the waves, like you've got weather, the weather patterns, you have the demonic realm, the spiritual realm, and now we have Jesus dealing with death itself, and it's just amazing. So we've got Jairus, who comes and pleads for her daughter, who was about 12 years old, and while Jesus is on the way to heal her, he gets interrupted by the woman who had been bleeding for 12 years. So you got direct correlations there. We can go into that forever if we wanted to. And then Jesus heals the daughter, or the woman, and then goes on to the daughter who's now died, and Jesus heals her, and then she keeps going. So what an incredible just passage of just back-to-back incredible feats that Jesus has done here. But one thing I want to focus on today is Jesus' response to the woman with bleeding. And I've read this so many times, and I kind of already knew this, but I just wanted to just highlight this today because it's just quite incredible. So a woman in the crowd had been suffering for 12 years with constant bleeding. She'd suffered a great deal from many doctors, and over the years she'd spent everything she had to pay them. But she had gotten no better. In fact, she'd gotten worse. She'd heard about Jesus, so she came up behind him through the crowd and touched his robe. For she said to herself, or thought to herself, if I can just touch his robe, I will be healed. Immediately the bleeding stopped, and she could feel in her body that she had been healed of her terrible condition. Jesus realized at once that healing power had gone out from him. So he turned in the crowd and asked, who touched my robe? And then it goes on. So here we are talking about a different level of faith. When I say different level, I don't want to make it sound like a hierarchy or a, you know, 10 out of 10 faith and all that. But in all the other places in the Bible where we see Jesus responding to someone's faith, even with Jairus, Jairus came up to him and expressed faith of some nature, of some sort, and asked for something, expected something, hoped for something, and got something. With this one here, with the woman with bleeding, she only had been thinking to herself, if I can just touch his robe. So now we've got no interaction with Jesus except touching a garment. And the fact that she's content to just touch his garment rather than him, we are now talking about literally, for me, a different level of faith. Because now she has no tactile feedback to say, I have made contact with this dude and I can ask of him, and now I can hopefully get what I'm hoping for because I'm desperate and needy. You know, there's none of that. It's just like, God, I need healing. If I can just touch his robe without him even knowing, then I can be healed. And what gets me every time is not only did she get healed immediately, but Jesus knew it too. And that, to me, just speaks volumes about how Jesus literally is God the Son, because no human would be aware of that, because literally the garment is separating Jesus from the woman when we're talking about the context of physical touch. So Jesus physically did not feel anything touching him, but his robe did, and still the healing happened. And that, to me, just speaks volumes, because it helps my faith. Because now I can be confident that God hears my heart's desire, my heart's cry. And he'll hear you too. All the woman had to say was to herself, if I can just touch his robe. And so all we need to do in response to this is just to pray and believe that God will heal or hear us, and we can have results. And so this is challenging as much as it is encouraging. It's challenging because how many times have I thought to myself, oh, no, it's too hard. I won't pray about that, And it's encouraging because how many times could I simply now go, oh, it's not too hard. God hears. He hears my heart. He hears my desire. And all we need to do is pray and reach out, because touching his robe here is almost, I don't know if it's symbolic or anything else, but how many times have we failed to reach out metaphorically to touch Jesus' robe in prayer, or, just believing because it was too hard? How many miracles or, blessings from God have we missed out on because we didn't try, didn't believe, we didn't reach for that garment, so to speak? And so that's just something I just wanted to share today. Is it's time to level up in our faith. It's time to believe for the unbelievable despite everything. And even then, we don't have to go out and do anything in front of people. You don't need to go out the front in church for the altar call. You don't need to get prayer necessarily. You can believe for God's healing in your life right now for anything that you need. And God hears you. Jesus is aware. He can do that. And now it's just up to our faith. Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace. Your suffering is over. It blows me away every time. And what gets me also is the context of this whole story. Jesus was on the way to heal someone, got sidetracked by this segue, and then had to come back. And it's a fourth dimensional story because now the daughter died. Now, interestingly, I just want to do a slight diversion here. In Matthew, the leader of the synagogue, who's not named, said, "My daughter has just died." So Matthew records the daughter as being dead already, but Mark records her dying in the action. I don't know if that's significant or not, why there's the different reports there, but the focus here is on the healing. Jesus healed. Jesus was able to overcome. He didn't just stop someone from dying. He actually now reversed death as well. So he's reversed blood flow out and healed that one. And now he's actually reversed death as well. So be encouraged. There is nothing too hard for him. Your situation is I was going to say it's not nothing, but there is nothing he cannot do. He cannot help. He cannot heal. We just need to believe and reach out. Challenging one, this one, I know, because sometimes our situation, our circumstances are just ridiculously hopeless. It seems on the outside how hopeless, because this is the ultimate sense of hopelessness, where they came up to him and said, "Don't bother troubling the teacher now." And Jesus overheard him. I love this word, overheard. It actually means ignored. He ignored what they were saying and said to him, looked him in the eyes and said, look, don't be afraid, just have faith. That is the key. This is what this lady did. She did that, thinking to herself. And now Jairus had to do it himself in spite of his circumstances that had just leveled up. Bless you guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you the next one. Bye.